today. I want to thank you guys for your time. I promise to be very quick, all right? How many of you guys have heard of Teach for America before? Okay, so about 5 of you. Teach for America is an organization that's really close to my heart, and this is why. My family was born in Mexico, and they moved to the U.S. back in the late 80s and settled in Texas. And they settled in a low-income area of Houston. And I'm pretty sure your family did the same thing, but my family was very strict about getting an education and graduating from college. Kind of what was expected from me. But what my parents didn't know, that the schools that I was going to were not the best. And it turns out I learned later on that the likelihood of me graduating from college was about 8%. And that's something my parents and I did not know as I went to these schools. However, when I was in the 10th grade, my favorite teacher of all time, his name was Mr. Y, was at my high school because of Teach for America. And what Mr. Y did was that he started this 2-year math program where we learned geometry one semester, algebra 2 the next semester in a fast-track way, where he would come after school and tutor us, even come every single Saturday and bring us snacks and tutor us just to make sure we were on level. So by the time I went to college, I went to UT in Austin. I took the math placement exam, and I placed out of math, and I was able to take calculus if I wanted to, all because Mr. White pushed me. So when I was in college, I thought, why am I here? I know you guys reflect a lot when we're in college, and I'm like, why are my friends not here with me? And I thought about all the stuff that I didn't have to deal with. I had friends who were undocumented, who didn't have the support to go to college. I had friends who had to work part-time and on the weekend to support their family. I had friends who didn't have health care. All these challenges that prevented them from going to college and getting the education they deserve. So when I was in college, I was like, I need to do something to help my community. So I Googled Teach for America, and I was like, that was a pretty good deal. Let me give it a shot. I was able to teach 8th grade Spanish back in Houston for 2 years. And when I got Spanish, I'm like, okay, what am I going to do with an elective? How am I going to help kids out with a class they don't even need? So I thought about how Mr. White pushed me. And I was like, all right, I researched, and it turns out if you're an 8th grader and you kind of know Spanish and you study, you can take the AP exam. How many of you guys have AP credits? Okay, about half of you, and I'm pretty sure those were super worth it when you made it in college. And I knew that. So I started this program, and it was really hard, but I was able to get 45 8th graders to graduate from middle school with AP college credit before they even entered high school. And this proves that if you have AP credits, you're more likely to graduate from college, so I'm pretty sure my kids were in a better place than they were before. But this is not enough. I had kids who didn't have me. I had kids who had teachers that ultimately were not pushing them. So what Teach for America does is we look for people who are talented and passionate. And when you apply and get in, we train you in the summer intensively for free to become a teacher. And then you're placed in a classroom that needs you the most as a full-time salaried hired by the district teacher. And your goal there is to be the best teacher you can be for 2 years and push your kids and try to make an impact. And after 2 years, our teachers have a choice. They can stay in the classroom for 2 years and be an amazing teacher, or there are people who go into law school to create policy to help the education system and our kids. People who become education leaders or nonprofit leaders, and people who go into med school to provide healthcare access to kids. Because we know that we need people at all levels to make sure that every kid gets the education they deserve. Now, our first application deadline, actually the second, is September 10th. It's like a 2-hour app deadline, 2-hour application. I know you guys probably have a lot of options. I think this is one that's really cool to consider. Maybe if you even haven't thought about becoming a teacher, this could be something for you. I will check it out, just teachforamerica.org. I pass out these little green papers. These are just a way for me to keep track of who I'm talking to. So if you could please just fill out your name, email, and the other information. And if you're interested in meeting with me on campus in Nicoletti's next week, I will be here. You just put a star on your paper, and I'll just email you, and you can set up a meeting to see if you want to check this out, or maybe it can be an option for you, or maybe not. But I love to talk to you guys individually. That was okay. So if you guys could fill it out and just pass it down this way, I'll be collecting them. Hopefully I can get one from everybody. Thank you for your time. Thank you, Professor.
Thank you.